Well, I've been putting off doing this particular recording for a while because I know the topic that I wanted to do for today, and that's been the emotional toll that the stroke has taken on me. I I can pretty much count the number of days since I was in the hospital that I haven't broken down at least once. And in fact, I haven't said this aloud yet, so this will be the first time, and this will shock a few people and scare a few others. So I apologize in advance and let you know that since this happened, I've actually kind of turned a corner. I think I've finally processed all of the emotions that have come up since the stroke, and today I've thought to myself, maybe I've finally turned a corner. So I've processed all of this. I'm doing much better now, which is why I'm able to make this recording. But there was a day last week. Um, I went to an appointment, which turned out to be frustrating and pointless, and then took an Uber to the appointment, took an Uber to the grocery store to pick up a couple of things, and then attempted to take an Uber home, and the Uber app said insufficient funds for a $10 ride back to my place. So, broke, carrying my groceries, I attempted to walk home. It's about a mile and a half. So, nothing I hadn't done before, but since the stroke, everything's more challenging. So, I'm struggling to walk a mile and a half in the rain. Um, and I broke down no less than two times in a mile and a half distance. I'm walking along and freaking angry at God. I'm freaking angry at God for doing this to me or for letting it happen. Either way, I'm yelling at God. I'm angry. I'm depressed. And at one point, I begged for him to finish me off, to send another blood clot or an errant driver or a huge limb or something that can just end it all. Here we go. I've been depressed most of my life. I've faced suicidal thoughts several times throughout my life, so this wasn't anything new to me. Um, I've never really feared death, but this was actually the first time in my life when I really didn't care whether I lived anymore. I've never really wanted to commit suicide, mostly because I had enough people around me that loved me enough that I never wanted to do it because I knew that it would hurt them. So the people that have loved me have kept me alive this long. And I kind of love them for that. Mostly I love them for that. Um, and now I do want to live for a few different reasons. Part of it is because of the mental breakdown that I had today. Um, I was texting my best friend, um, and I was telling him that I need to get back in shape. I've been trying to exercise since the stroke, and that's one of the biggest emotional tolls right there is I've said many times that exercise is my therapy. I work out all of my frustrations and anger, and I feel so much better after I exercise, and I haven't been able to really exercise since the stroke. If I go too far or too hard, I start to get more dizzy. Um, so I was telling my best friend, because we were talking about wrestling, that's one of the big things that we shared. Um, I was telling him that to wrestle again, I'll have to get in a lot better shape. He sent me a message back and said I'm his champion. He's always seen this um, potential in me, and it's one of the main reasons why I moved to St. Louis, to see if I could really actually turn that potential into reality. It excites me, the idea of being what he sees in me. Um, it's the most excited about a goal I've ever had before. Was to go to wrestling school, become an actual wrestler, to get into the ring and do the amazing things of these guys that I've admired all of my life. They're athletes, they're entertainers, and it's something I've always thought was amazing. And to think of myself as one of them, as being able to do this stuff that they do, it excited me. It gave me a new direction, a new purpose, um, a new sense of excitement, and that's that's the biggest emotional toll that the stroke has taken from me. Because part of me wonders if I'll ever be able to do that now. Before, I knew it was going to be a lot of work. I knew I was probably pushing myself further and harder than I ever had before, entering territory that was challenging but exciting. And now the chance of that ever happening is much smaller than I. And I still want it to happen. I still want to be that. I still want to be that person, that athlete. It's still my biggest ambition, but I can barely walk. Running and sprinting through that ring, climbing up to that top turnbuckle, will be a miracle now.